Hello.
Hello.
This is cool.
We decided to separate rooms. Oh, everyone's here. This is so exciting.
Okay. Yeah, there's lots of people. Hi, everyone. I think there's a small delay between us and the real thing. That's okay. Me and Ellie are streaming from our own computers today because it's like 95 degrees in Germany in Fahrenheit today, or for Europeans, like 35, something like that. So it's really hot. So it's much cooler if we stay in our own rooms instead of sitting side by side.
Yeah. Plus, if we need to get up to get a snack or something, one of us has to like climb over the other, and it's not fun. Oh, we're Darian's favorite couple.
Okay.
I've also I don't remember Michael Medlinger. I've never seen him in the comments. I do remember Dutch Gamer, Andres Justice. I don't know if I remember him from our comments. Mark, I remember Mark from some of our comments too. Yay,
Yeah,
this is so
and a
exciting.
lot of them have been here for other streams.
So this is your guys' chance to ask us anything that we haven't talked about yet, or like kind of like a behind the scenes of a get to know us. So are there any questions?
Yeah, just type them in the chat. Otherwise, I guess we'll get to say hi to people. I think we said hi to everyone.
Oh, Michael is the one with the friend from
Yeah,
Stevens Point.
I remember that.
Maybe you responded to them.
Yeah, I might have. Yeah, when me and Ellie respond to comments, usually like it doesn't show up on YouTube for us anymore. So it's kind of on us to remember what we commented on. And Darian's here. Darian, how is it going? I think you're planning to come to Germany soon.
Lucas, remind me, what was the thing with the friend from Stevens Point? Because I don't remember if you told me that.
I need to look it up.
Okay. In the meantime, the last time we had spaghetti ice, Lucas, you had some when we were here. You had some probably like 2 years ago. Or maybe when we were in Garmisch.
I don't think we were in Garmisch. When we went to, we were there. I don't know if she wants us to say her name.
It was Xanten.
Yeah, Xanten. Yeah.
Okay, when we went to Xanten, that was the
rained
last
outside
time.
suddenly. I think
we
while
had
we were
a video
eating.
of it. But they had like the best spaghetti ice because they had like all of these different varieties. And you know, normally you can only get like vanilla and strawberry. But at this one restaurant in Xanten, I don't know if they specialized in it, but it was definitely an ice cream shop. And you could get it with like a bunch of different flavors and different varieties instead of your traditional, which was really fun.
That was really good.
Yeah. I was wondering if one of Michael's friends he wrote in the chat, you know.
Yeah, he's commented a bunch.
I wondered if like one of his friends is like our professors that's in Wisconsin, but I don't know.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
He says his friend went to University of Wisconsin long before we were born. Michael, why did your friend moved to, I don't know if they're the guy, moved from the US to Germany. I don't know if we've ever said this in the comments, but I've always actually wanted to know why. I'm not always so good about getting back to comments once I respond once.
Yeah. Moin.
Hello, Marcus.
Buxtehude. That is an interesting name. Buxtehude. Yeah, very interesting.
He's been in Germany almost 50 years. It's a long time.
Have we ever been to Merchant's Ice in Rutenscheid? I think that's a yellow place. So, like, you know, on the Rutenscheider Straße, the yellow place that we were going to go to last weekend, remember?
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, the one where you climb up inside. What?
I'll look it up on Google Maps.
I think we have. But it was last year, I think, during COVID.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't really remember.
Place.
if I liked it. I forget. But there is someone left a comment that we should go to the one in Verden. There's one that's like really popular, and we saw like a long line outside of it once.
Yeah.
But we've never made it there. We always want to. We're so bad at this. I actually think most of this is like my fault because I felt really burnt out from the university. And Lucas keeps telling me, he's like, yeah, we should travel. I want to travel. Do you want to go somewhere tomorrow even? And I'm like, no. So yeah, I don't know. Here we are, this travel channel, and like because of the university and stuff, I've just felt like so burnt out. And I think even the heat doesn't help, but that's my problem and I need to get better.
Yeah, but we'll get there.
So on that question, Mark asks, when will we start traveling again?
Soon we want. So it's been so like warm lately, and I think for months in like the beginning of the year I kept saying we should really travel, and now Ellie's working on her thesis and she's been so busy with school, and I've been busy like with my German course, which I just took my exam for yesterday. Yeah, me too. But hopefully really soon. I think we just need to get back into it and stuff. And so many people have like given us places to go in the comments. So I think maybe we should start with like some hikes or some bike routes, or like maybe some like castle ruins. Like maybe not like super touristy places. We can just kind of go in the backwoods and just kind of have a day.
I think it's also hard for me because I'm like teaching at this point. Like for my master's thesis, I want to like teach in the German schools to like try and see if this like teaching lesson I have will work. And I've done 2 lessons already and I have 2 more to go. So I don't really want to go anywhere until that's done.
Yeah. I'm like,
so maybe next weekend.
Yeah. We can go next weekend. We can find a place. It really has been cool with so many people leaving us like comments on where to go. It makes it so much like more like exciting, right? Because people are like, go here, like this is a great place, instead of us like looking on Google Maps or on like travel, like Googling like where should I bike, and then I'm like, well, do I really want to go there? But like when people say it, I'm like willing to like take their like opinion, be like, yeah, they say we should, so let's check it out.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry if I butcher names, but I think you pronounce it Jorg. Says hello from Dusseldorf. Hi. Michael says travel, what's that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need to get into that again, huh? A weekend in Vulcan Eiffel. Where's Vulcan Eiffel?
I don't know. But someone said that because you just took your A2 exam that we should both speak German. You can.
Ja, ich sah Andres das nicht. Ja, wir können aber nur ein bisschen. Also, Ellie hat ein C2 auf Deutsch und vielleicht, yes, ich habe ein A2. Oh, C1, yeah, genau. And the exam for me yesterday went okay, but I'm not super confident. The speaking part went not well, in my opinion.
Yeah. But he also took the course in a school that I don't know. I mean, like maybe it was because you said you couldn't understand like one of the speakers in the audio files and stuff. So I think that just made it harder for you.
I think the listening and stuff went really fine. It was really just the speaking part. But I also get so nervous when I have to speak. And then like I'm trying to read the instructions for what I have to do and I didn't quite understand them. It's like, and I don't want to ask for clarification in the exam because I feel like I should know it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. But like words, I think they asked him about his Familienstand, and that's not something you typically like. An A2 learner like that is something you wouldn't know. Or also like Anschrift, like if you have to fill out papers and they ask you for your Anschrift, like normally they say Adresse, but another term is Anschrift. So I mean, those are words that like throw you. I know. They also like messed me up after I even had C1.
Yeah, I had 2 books to learn from everybody. I'm sure I did learn it. It's just like I don't, and I don't use the vocab a lot. I forget it, or I don't know. I realize I will get better if I just use it more, right? But it's just.
Ja, und du kannst mit mir sprechen.
Ja.
Someone asked, Oh, what's the topic of my thesis? My thesis is about video games. I want to see if how you can use video games to debunk or like kind of like what's another word for debunk, Lucas?
Disprove?
Yeah, okay, so disprove stereotypes. Because specifically in video games, there's also like a lot of like women I feel like are unfairly represented, and also guys because they're always like covered up and buff. And I find that these stereotypes aren't really the best. And so I'm trying to see if you can like use video games to help students disprove stereotypes. So yeah, it's been a bit challenging and things didn't turn out quite like I planned them. And I find that the students actually have, I think it's because they're a newer generation, they're actually like more experienced and exposed to like people of different genders. So they don't really have these gender stereotypes in their head. I mean, they kind of know what the traditional ones are, but I actually wonder if like younger generations, I don't know, if maybe they don't really think of these stereotypes anymore. I don't know, but yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it's a little different. I want to share my screen quick. Mark said we should go for a weekend in Vulcan Eiffel. So I looked it up, and it's this region, but they have they have this like waterfall. It's called the Dreimulen Wasserfall. Look how pretty it is.
That is gorgeous. Where is it?
So here's like the region. It's a little to the west of Frankfurt, south of.
Okay.
So
That's
we went to
cool.
the National Park Eiffel. That's here. We've done that once, so we have to go a bit more south.
Is it by Trier? Or
no, that's way too
Trier's
south.
up. But Bitburg? Where is Bitburg?
Here's Bitburg.
Uh-huh.
So it's a little
that's
north.
super close.
Yeah.
I lived in Bitburg for like a month.
I don't think I knew that. Maybe
but
I
lived
did.
there.
But yeah.
That's when we went to. I was in Leipzig in 2016, and then my aunts and I stayed in Bitburg.
We'll have to put this on the list. We like waterfalls.
Yeah. We do have a list too of places that we want to go, so it's not like we're ignoring all suggestions.
Yeah, really.
We just don't get there.
AKA ask how we're getting along with the temperatures.
Yeah.
You want to tell us?
I'm really sweaty all the time. But like my hands and feet like sweat a lot, so it's kind of something normal for me. But I don't know. It just seems, especially like teaching, like I taught on Thursday and that was like just as hot as Friday was. And that was kind of, the kids were not having it.
Yeah, it's like, it can be rough. But I mean, I'm okay. Some days I think I'm really warm. Like right now I'm a little warm, but like not too bad. But some days it feels okay.
I think it's also better because we have like a first floor apartment and luckily we don't like live not on the roof. How would you say it in English?
The attic
in the
top
attic.
floor, the highest floor.
Terrible.
Yeah, we were at our friend's apartment like a week or two ago, and they live on like the top floor of their building. And as soon as you walked in the door, it was like instantly like bathed with like heat. I was like, oh my gosh, because we're so used to living lower, and it still gets hot in our building, but not or in our apartment, but not nearly as hot as the higher floors. So I'm glad we have this one.
Then we have a hi from Wiesbaden, or Wiesbaden if you prefer.
Dutch Gamer says German is hard to read, in his opinion. Actually, for me, reading is usually quite okay. I can read it really well, I think, for my level, but I cannot speak it as well. Or I can't speak it when I feel anxious and like stressed. So when me and Ellie speak, or even when I would speak with my teacher, because I was very used to him, I felt quite okay because I feel more confident. But if we go out in the middle of the street and a stranger walks up to me and starts speaking Deutsch, my brain like explodes. Like it's just gone. I can't remember a single thing.
Then we have to practice more.
Yeah. I think it's also because I have to work so hard to like hear what they're saying because Germans speak pretty quickly. It's like I'm working so hard to process the first word they said. I don't even know what the rest of the message was. And now I'm just sitting there. Yeah. And then I say bitte and they just say it as fast again. And I'm like, oh no.
Then you can say langsame bitte.
Yeah, I know, but by then I'm freaking out, and we're past that point of any rational thought.
All right. If anyone talks to Lucas, you're just like, nope.
At that point, I go, I'm sorry, I don't speak good German. I know English.
Problem. I never knew that, like, Dutch. Is that what we call it in English? I wanted to say Nederlandish.
No, I think it's if they're different. I think Dutch is definitely.
Okay. I didn't know that Dutch didn't have like the umlauts and stuff.
No, me neither.
That's interesting, but like I can see why someone who learned Dutch would have a hard time with German, because like I can kind of pick apart like some parts of like Dutch text because it's like Dutch and German are quite similar, but like speaking, it's just so different.
Darian wants to visit the waterfalls. Darian, when are you? You're coming to Germany in September, right? I think. Obviously, we'll be gone, so we'll miss that. But if you come back another time, we could go on like a waterfall expedition, maybe.
We could. Instead of castles, we can hunt waterfalls.
There's also not too far from those falls, Ellie. There's like a camping place with a big lake. It actually looks very pretty.
And then we can go to Luxembourg.
I'll share my screen again real quick. Share.
Is there a lake like the Eibsee?
I don't think it's as here. I'll zoom out. So, the falls are somewhere over here.
Mm-hmm.
And here's this lake. It's called Lachersee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and look at looks very pretty.
That's cool. I still think the Eibsee is prettier.
Yeah, of course, the Eibsee is beautiful. Although this looks like maybe it's mostly like a camper place, but maybe they do tents and stuff.
I don't know.
I mean, it's still very wide open. They have paddle boats.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Nothing.
You like it better this way?
I'm getting ahead of myself in the comments. Yes, because then when I move, I'm not like out of the screen.
Let me keep it this way.
Okay. Where were we? There's also Michael also suggested Eckstein in Ostwestfalen.
Sorry, just a moment.
Do you want me to continue?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. Michael also says that he lives on the top floor, and you could like notice the temperatures as you climb the stairs. Lucas, Google Eckstein in Ostwestfalen.
Eckstein?
Yeah. Ooh, and then AKA 99 asked us, what places in the USA have you never visited but wanted to?
I haven't visited a lot of places.
Okay, like I've only been to like 9 out of the 50 states.
How do I spell Eckstein? I did do it right. E-C-K.
E-C-K.
Oh no, I did it wrong.
Sorry, Eckstein.
China and Ostwestfalen. I didn't know there was an Ostwestfalen.
Should I continue while you're researching, or should we just kind of do one thing at a time?
No, you can respond to whoever or do whatever.
Okay. Some places that I've wanted to visit are the Grand Canyon. Like, I've never been south. I've never been to California, and I really want to see the redwoods, the giant trees. I've also never been to Disney World or Disneyland, which is kind of an anomaly or something. Like, most U.S. people have at least been to one of those, Disneyland or Disney World. But, yeah, as an only child and with parents who weren't really like, I don't know, they weren't really huge fans of Disney, we just didn't go. So, I mean, I don't really feel like I want to go now, but what?
You want to go.
Sure. I apparently want to go.
You like roller coasters, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Especially the ones that go in water. But I'm not a huge fan of the whole Minnie and Mickey and seeing all of those life-size characters.
You can completely avoid them if you want, though.
Okay, that would be fine with me.
Then you just enjoy it like a roller coaster park, and they have some really like creative roller coasters.
Okay. Where else do you want to go, Lucas? Okay. We've never been to Florida or Maine. Basically, I'd like to go to all of the U.S. states.
All the 50 states, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Michael
Hawaii.
asked if we've been to Eckstein. When I Google it, I get a lot of like restaurants in like Oberhausen area. So, Michael, you have to tell us if this is more like a city or if this is a restaurant. Because then I'm having trouble finding it. But otherwise, no, we haven't.
I'm pretty sure it's like the Teufelsmauer thing.
Oh.
Because when I Google it, like with like the Ostwestfalen, I'm pretty sure it's those stones, because Steine means stone, in the Toto-Burger Wald. But I don't think we've been to these ones.
Oh, this place. No, but we wanted to. I've looked them up so many times.
We saw like the Teufelsmauer.
Yeah. I would like to go to this place. I think the last time I looked at it, though, was during heavy COVID time. And they were like, I mean, half the point of going is just so you can climb the rocks. And they're like, yeah, you can like come visit, but you can't climb to the top because it's too restricted. So I was like, well, then why would we even want to go if we can't go to the top?
That's cool. Okay, no, we haven't been there either. But we should go.
Yeah, we should.
I'll be right back. Oh, and Darian says, congrats on our 2,000 subscribers. Maybe you could talk about why we're doing this chat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's in the title. But if you don't know because you're new or something, this is our 2,000 subscribers Q&A, which, yeah, it's just a chance for you guys to sit back and talk with us and things like that. We don't do a lot of like and we don't talk a lot about ourselves in our videos, right? We talk so much about like Germany and stuff like that. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Go ahead.
Darian asked where our cats are, and here's breakfast. I literally haven't seen Gabby all day.
Gabby's probably in her tree.
She looks grumpy.
Yeah, she does.
Are you being a grumpus? She was napping like a dog on the floor. We kind of think that this one is more of a dog than a cat, but
she acts more like a dog.
There she goes.
Oh, but back to the U.S. thing.
Mm-hmm.
It would be definitely cool to go to Hawaii. I also think it'd be cool to see like Alaska during their warmer part of their seasons, because Alaska has lots of. I would like to go to major national parks of the U.S. That's what I would like to see, because I like going to like the nature areas. You know, that stuff's always very pretty.
Yeah.
And the U.S. has a lot of unique nature, because we have like the Grand Canyon, so you have like more like the Rocky, that kind of stuff. We also have very different forests. Yeah, we have.
I never knew we had salt flats.
Yeah, the U.S. actually has like a lot of varying climates in like a single landmass. So there's so much to see.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, sure. We have a lot of land, I guess.
The Dutch gamer says that like the in Holland they use US keyboards to write, which I find is interesting, because also, especially like when you go to the universities here, German keyboards are like, they're not that much different, but if you're like used to the whole US
they're different enough that it's like
switch.
Yeah.
I had such a hard time because like to log on, you have to type the @ sign for your email, and I could not figure it out. Like on US keyboards, you just hit the shift key and then the number 2. But in German, I don't even think I remember.
German keyboard also has, like US keyboard just has shift, and like buttons at most have 2 functions with the shift. But in German keyboards, they have 3. They have like another shift button, like a different one. And so it's
Makes
like,
sense for me.
and for me, the Y and Z are swapped. And so I'm constantly
Yeah.
like, it took me a while to like teach myself to like do
Yeah.
that differently. But that makes sense, Dutch gamer. If like you don't even have umlauts, why not just use the one instead of like learning some random other configuration just for a different language when it's the same alphabet?
I mean, it would also be interesting to like figure out how many different keyboards there are in the world. I think that would be interesting.
You can Google it. Someone can tell us. Someone's looking for a fun fact today.
They also ask what places of the U.S. for vacation. Gee, that's hard.
Yeah,
I
I don't know.
personally like Upper Michigan, and
Yeah, but we're biased.
yeah, we're from Wisconsin, so
Yeah, but me and Ellie do really like Upper Michigan. They have waterfalls. They have a very big waterfall park, actually. You can even walk like kind of into the waterfalls because it's not like a giant waterfall. You know, it's more like small steps down a river, and so you can just like in some parts walk into the water and like stand next to it.
Or Door County is also fun in Wisconsin. If you go in August, you can pick your own cherries, which is also
apples,
food.
I think.
That's in September.
Oh, September. Yeah, Door County is very beautiful. It's a very touristy part of Wisconsin, though. Probably the most touristy part.
Or Green Bay.
Yeah. York asked if we've been to Phantasialand near Cologne. Ellie hasn't, but I have.
Yeah.
We can go. I wouldn't mind going back there. Well, I went during COVID.
I know. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of like traveling during COVID. I don't know. Like I'm apprehensive.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that. But now like, so I don't know if I don't think I put this on like Instagram or any of our social platforms, but like I just got the vaccine last week.
You didn't tell us that.
No. Because I didn't want my mom to see. That's why. I didn't want her to see before we talked to her. But yeah, so I got the vaccine, the Johnson & Johnson, like not yesterday, but the Friday before. So I'm like 1 week in. I have to wait 2 weeks before I consider myself fully vaccinated. And Ellie just got scheduled for her second one. So pretty soon we'll be like pretty safe to go to like Phantasialand. And I'm sure they still require masks. When I went before, they required masks. Whenever you were waiting in line, I think you could take them off for the ride itself, but maybe not. I don't remember. Yeah.
I have a question. Explain Phantasialand. Were there any roller coasters that went into the water? Because I've never been in one and always want to.
Yeah, it has one ride, I think, maybe two, that go and that get you wet.
Okay, then we're doing that.
And that's fun. And they have like these giant body, human-sized like dryers. You like stand in them, and then it like blasts you with air from both sides, so you can dry off. But they're really expensive, so they definitely get your money's worth if you do that.
I mean, I'm fine.
You don't have to use it. Yeah, if we went like this summer, it'd probably be so hot that you dry off in like 5 minutes.
That would be fun. We should go there too.
We'll have to see if they have some nice
prices. We should do everything.
Oh yeah, we should do it all. But it was really fun. I liked them.
Isle Maynau at Lake Constance has redwoods. I never knew that.
Lake Constance, where's that? In Deutschland? Or in US?
I'm pretty sure it's by Switzerland, if I'm thinking correctly. You're testing our geography, everyone.
Which I never had. Yeah, it is by Switzerland. It's like on the border. What's it called? Wait, what is it? Isle Maynau.
I've been to Friedrichshafen once before, but never to this island.
Oh my gosh, that's a tiny island. You don't even see it on the map unless you zoom in a lot. Screen share. Okay, so yeah, here's like the Lake Constance. Here's Switzerland. Me and Ellie came down here when we went snowboarding once. Right here, we went down over here. Anyways. Oh,
we just like missed it. But then we came back to go climb. Sorry. We were also close to that when we went like castle hopping because Garmisch is really close.
Garmisch is over here. We came out over here. Yeah, so we were
No,
kind of close.
no. I was talking about when we went to Garmisch, not like snowboarding.
No, I know. Yeah, Garmisch is here.
Yeah.
And then we
somewhat close.
drove through and we came back. We went into Austria and then we got back into Germany here and we went like this way.
Yeah.
But we can always go south. I'm always ready to go to southern Germany. It's by far my favorite.
I'm reading in my opinion. I agree, aka 99. I also think that like Europe is really cool because you can visit everything, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to study abroad here or like do my master's here. Because in my head I was like, okay, well we can easily go to like that country, and you can just basically like hop. However, after being here, where have we been? We've only really been to Italy.
We've been to Italy, Switzerland.
Okay. Those are the 2.
We went to the Netherlands.
Okay, 3.
And if you count our layover in Portugal, we've been in Portugal. And it was a 10-hour layover, so it's not like we did get to visit Lisbon for a little bit.
Yeah. But, I mean, we haven't traveled as much as I would have wanted.
No.
Brex is sleeping on the windowsill. She looks like a very tired cat.
Maybe. I'm sure they do get more tired when it's so hot.
It's really cute. I could share it on Facebook. Jaken's here?
Yeah, Coolio says hi.
Hi, Jaken.
A lovely
He's one of our friends. Well, one of your friends since like ever.
Yeah. Yellow's Michael. Okay. Ellie's gonna take a photo of the cat. Michael says Yellowstone is a must-see. Yeah, we need to go there. We really want to go there.
I've been there.
Try a French keyboard. I've never had to do a French keyboard. Although I took French in high school.
Terrible.
AKA says he's glad he doesn't have to learn German. Seeing as he was born German. I hear a lot of Germans say that. My friends say that too. They're like, yeah, we're lucky we didn't have to, or they say like, yeah, German can be hard, even as German born.
Oh, I get it. That makes sense. But I mean, I feel like since it's hard to like learn, it's nice to have that as your native language.
Yeah.
And then everything else is basically easier. Well, except for maybe like the like Asian, like Chinese and like Japanese, where you have to use the
brand new alphabet.
Yeah. Okay. I'm posting a picture to Facebook and I guess Instagram of breakfast sleeping.
Okay. Darian, we don't visit a lot of Germany's in a week. A lot of bakeries in a week. I think maybe one a week or every couple of weeks because we don't buy a lot of bread. And it's kind of more expensive. Not super expensive, but expensive enough because when we go, we buy like 3 different kinds of bread and like easily spend like 10 euros. And then I come home and feel sick the rest of the day because I eat a whole loaf of bread in like 20 minutes or so. Because I have a favorite loaf of bread. It's so good.
Someone also brought up to us that we could learn how to make bread. And I've always wanted to learn that, but never.
We could. Andres says there's 2 Phantasialands. Where's the other Phantasialand? So I've been to one it's near Cologne. It's in Bonn? No. Ellie, where's that city we went to?
There's a lot of cities.
Yeah, I know. We went there and we were going to go on the beach, and then we went to the beach and we immediately left.
Brule.
Brule, that's where it is. Yeah, I've been to the Phantasialand in Brule. I don't know where the other one is. Yeah. Big Ernie's on top of it. If I could just stop trying myself and people will tell me. Europa Park near Freiburg is great. Yeah, Space Mountain in Disneyland is great. It's like completely pitch black, except it has like a star ceiling. So all you see are like these like dots on the ceiling, but you can't see anything.
What do you do in there? Is this like a water thing or a roller coaster
No,
or
Space Mountain is just like a roller coaster. It's like a single file roller coaster. Don't stick your arms out too far. It's like a little tight. You can like tell as you're going through it because there are some points when you see like a glimpse of light, but it's fun. I really like that one.
AKA also asked what the name of our cat was, and our cat's name is Brexa. We have another cat named Gabby. I really have no idea where she is.
I think she's just gonna have a short little view. I think she's up there. Up top up there. Probably. That's usually where she sleeps most of the day. We have a cat castle for anyone who hasn't seen. You don't have to take all the kitties out. Is she there?
Yeah, she's there.
Yeah. Ellie says she is there. Ellie's checked.
She looks really nice.
Yeah, I'm sure you woke her up during her nap. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Now she might know it's food time. It's funny because you can still hear me so clearly as you walk through.
No, I can't hear you at all.
Really?
No. Because it's also delayed and I can't hear it through these.
Oh, okay. Lake Constance has a Swiss, German, and Austrian part. Oh, that's good to know. It's like the Zugspitze. Minus the Swiss part.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call it Bodensee. Yeah, I did see that on the map. Did someone say Garmisch? Darien, yes. At the Isle is a castle, too. That looks cool. We're going to have spaghetti ice with Darien. Yeah, if we ever end up being in the country at the same time.
It'd be nice. Did we notice jet lag from our cats? Honestly, no.
But
I never really looked.
That I would never probably be able to tell.
Yeah. Oh, Gabby's up.
Yeah, now Gabby's awake. You'll all probably get to see Gabby because it's almost food time for them. So she's going to become very boisterous soon.
Did you see the comment from Michael about the English language and tenses?
I taught English as a foreign language for more than 35 years. You don't realize it, but the tenses are absolute hell for anyone. I can believe that. I think someone can correct me. I think French has something like 6 or 7 tenses. And then my French teacher in middle school told me that like English has a lot more. But like we never really named them, right? And right, I would never really tell the difference. In my mind, I was always like, there's just 3, past, present, future.
Yeah.
Ellie, you have something in common with Michael, then you're both teachers.
And teaching English.
I
remember on a little bit. I think I'm further. Sorry. Just keep going. I'm further along in the comments.
Oh, I mean, I don't have to read them all. I'm just scrolling, browsing.
Someone liked our AKA 99 likes our castle visits. Thank you. We like them too. We were sad that we couldn't do, 25 days for the countdown when we had to substitute that, but
yeah,
we still have them on our list to make up. Because of
we
COVID, we couldn't make it to them all.
And this time, because we'll be doing it probably slower, we can try to maybe get better access. I don't think we ever really talked about it in videos, but when we did our the first castle stuff, we did it so quickly. We were going to 3 or 4 castles in a day sometimes, or 3 to 4 over a weekend. We were just taping 5 different things a week, and then like after the fact, we found out that like some of the castles, if we would have contacted them beforehand, we might have been able to get more like recording privileges. So we could have like done more with the videos instead of just like sometimes being like, we're here and then telling you about it afterwards. So it'd be super cool if we could manage to do that. And there's Gabby being hungry. And she doesn't like to be held.
No, she hates it. Yep, Gabby.
In Den Norden. It's just Den Norden. S-O-S-H. Or do you mean Norden? I can't even pronounce this username. I don't want to butcher it so bad.
I think it's Norden.
Norden. If it's Norden, yeah, we could go there.
Is my voice quality really bad?
No, I hear you fine.
Because someone said that it was.
Oh, I don't know. You sound fine to me.
Okay, if this is a problem for anyone else, can you like type something? I don't know, and I might need to change things. We'll wait on that. What else? Peach?
I don't know. I forget.
Where are you?
Around. Ryan just asked if we had seen the latest video from German Girl in America. I don't think we ever watched her channel.
I don't think so either.
But it's about the English language. I think I've seen it suggested, but we don't watch a lot of German channels actually.
Yeah,
as weird as that might be.
It really kind of is weird. I don't know why. I also feel like I don't have the time, and like I'd really honestly like to watch more YouTuber videos, but really in the past few weeks I have not had the time. Like even in this whole semester.
Yeah, because we haven't even watched Kara and Nate for a while.
Kara and Nate are like they're two U.S. travelers from Tennessee, and they like started with taking a year off of their jobs and saving up money to travel, and they started in Asia, and they would travel back and forth in there, and it was just fun, and they both have like funny takes on the world, so like they are one of our inspirations, I guess you could say. And then their goal was to make it to 100 countries by Nate's birthday, by Nate's like 30th birthday, which I don't know if they made it.
I don't think so.
But they have like over 1 million subscribers, and they're just super influential and funny, and I don't know. And so now what with like the pandemic, they've been at home touring the US in a van, and they just flew to Italy this week, I think, to visit some of their friends from the US who are living in Italy. So yes, very cool. Sorry, I'm rambling.
No, we haven't been to the North or Baltic Seas yet. When we first moved here, we did talk about going, I think, to the North Sea, and then it just never happened. We talked about doing a lot when we first moved here, but I think then we got overwhelmed with school and work life.
Yeah. I've honestly never thought of visiting any castles in France. To me, Germany is the country of castles. I don't know why. I should probably get that out of my head.
France.
What?
We could go see castles in France. That'd be cool still.
I think it'd be cool
to see every castle in the world.
Oh boy.
That's the future of our channel. While we operate German bakeries in the US, from the viewers that decide to move there for our bakery franchise, will tour all the castles in the world.
Yeah. Oh, Schleswig-Holstein. So yeah, it's in the north.
Okay.
I know. Yes, I was in Friedrichshafen. I don't know if we went to the Zeppelin Museum. When I was there with my dad in 2014, there was a agricultural messe, which we just went to for fun, and And then we went back there, I think, with my mom to show her how cool it was there. And we ended up taking the Zeppelin blimp, so like the air Luft shift, Luft shift. I forget the translation. But we took the blimp, so that was a lot of fun. That was my first and only blimp ride. Luftschiff, yeah. Okay, I was right. Progressive and simple tenses. Progressive was hard. When we first moved here, I was tutoring English, and someone asked me, like a student asked me what the progressive tense was, and I was like, I don't know. And so, like, because we don't learn like the terms for them, like sometimes I feel like if you ask German speakers what like Präteritum is, I mean, they probably know, but I don't know how many of them would actually know, if you know what I mean, or like Plusquamperfekt. And so it's kind of the same thing. Like we definitely use it, but we just had no idea what it was called. So yeah. Okay. Ernie has no problems with the audio quality, so I'm gonna take that as we're okay.
Yeah.
Although one person says no.
Sound is great, but I mean, I
and
hear
one
you.
person.
Maybe it's just echoing.
But I've also had that with these like headphones.
I don't know. We're not working with the best studio equipment currently.
That's true.
I did see something I just wanted to think about. Christina asked how we like Essen. Tell us how we like Essen, Ellie.
I don't even know where you are.
I'm like 7 or 8 comments from the most recent.
Oh, okay. How do we like Essen? It's different. It's definitely a much bigger city than I would like to live in for like the rest of my life. I also find here that I've been to Marburg and I lived there for 6 months, and I definitely think the lifestyle was different. Like here, it feels like there's a lot of competition because there's so many people here. I don't know. I just don't have the best feelings of Essen. Like it's really cool, and there's a lot of bike paths and stuff. So there's points that are cool, but there's also like points that make it complicating, and it's complicated. It's also like the mining area, which there's a lot of like industrial stuff here, which I don't want to live by. I like to live in like the nature. So it's probably not like the best match for us. But yes, I honestly kind of wish, Lucas, that we would have moved to Marburg or something, because I think you'd have a totally different impression of Germany.
Yeah, that might be true.
Marburg is also
come here because of
smaller.
my job.
Yeah, that's true.
And while you're schooling at the time, this seemed like the option.
I mean, I could
who knows how
move
true that
wherever.
is.
Yeah, really. So yes, those are our thoughts on Essen. Do you have anything to add?
No, I don't think so. It's okay. It's a big city. I think it's cool just that I feel like this is true of most German cities. I think Germany seems to do a good job of including a lot of parks and like nature into their cities, regardless of where they are and how large. For sure, like if we were like more south, right, by like Trier or whatever, it's obviously a lot more woods because that's just like the way it is over there. But it's still very cool that we have like access to like the Baldnise, Stadtwald, and some other big parks. So like I still appreciate that. It's better than just being like if we were in Wisconsin and Madison or something, you'd never have stuff like this. So I do think Germany does a really good job with that, which makes it.
And I also think we're like lucky to be living in Rutenscheid. Like it's one of, I don't know, my favorite neighborhoods of the Essen city. So I think that's super great. And like the Rutenscheider Straße, I think is super cool. So
yeah, we landed in like a pretty good spot, huh?
And we're so close to Baldnise. It's my favorite.
Jorg says we need to go to northern Germany. It's like a completely different country. Yeah, we need to probably do like all the like north, east, south, and like middle of Germany. Right? Yeah. That's kind of like all different, totally different.
I mean, but I've only been to the north once. I've been to Warnemünde, which is by Rügen, I think. And we also went up there to get the Jeep, but we didn't really stay there long. And like I think that was like the north up above Berlin. So I think the closer you get to like the Netherlands, the more like not culturally, the more diverse landscape you have. And
Yeah.
so I don't know. Like I've heard such great things about Silt. And honestly, we always when we drive, we see these cars with these stickers on them. To me, it kind of looks like it's like a dancer who's like doing the split, and their legs are kind of like this. I don't know, but it's the island Silt, and it took me a long time to figure that out. So yeah, I think we should go there. And the Castle Schwerin was on our list. Hello, Frank from Berlin. I also agree. It's probably just as hot in Berlin as it is in Essen. I don't know. They're forecasting thunderstorms for tonight.
Good. Yay. We need rain. If it rained for a week, I'd be so happy.
So weird.
But we've definitely figured out how to handle the temperature here. When we first moved here, we didn't have a good way to deal with the heat in the summers, and it was so hot in our apartment.
Oh yeah. So our strategy is to now keep the shades closed and only open for airflow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does a pretty good job. But we feel like we're shut-ins for the 3 months of the summer because we don't have the windows open ever. There's no light coming in. We have them open for air, but there's no light.
I'm Googling something. The Sanssouci Palace. That's how you say it. Looks super cool.
Mark has given us a lot of ideas.
Wow.
We really, we don't have, but we really need to have is a spreadsheet or a document where we put all these locations that people give us. We're shooting ourselves in the foot because one day we're going to be where should we go? And we're going to have to browse through hundreds of comments.
Just for you, I'm going to start this right now. Do we have our own Drive account for this?
No.
Or okay, well then we'll just use mine.
Hello.
I do have a list of where we go next.
Oh, well, we can put it there too. Hello, Rayleigh from Rayleigh Creative Travel. You used to go roller skating around the Baldnese. We've talked about that. That's the one place it looks like it'd be pretty okay because we're not great roller skaters.
They're saying that my audio is really dull.
Well, can't do much about that. You have your bike camera.
Hang on. Let me.
People either love Silt or they hate it. I belong more to the latter group. I don't know anything about Silt, so someone would have to tell me.
It is really quiet, but I don't know how to raise it up. Hello. Nope.
I think it'll be okay. Now we can't hear you at all. We'll just work with what we have.
How's this?
Maybe better.
Okay, a test for everyone. How's this? Tell me if it's better.
It does sound a little more clear, a little sharper, I guess.
Okay, but now I can't hear you.
Oh, great. So then how do you know what I'm saying?
I can only hear you through one and not the other.
Oh, well. You get to decide, I guess.
I'm trying to fix this.
Darian said that he has to leave soon. That's cool. Have a great day. We'll catch you on the flip side.
How's this?
I know the expression shikamiki. I don't. That's Silt. Okay, if you tell me the expression, I'll understand. Yeah, Michael says better audio.
Okay, how's this?
I mean, we still hear you. The audio is the same as it was since whatever you did.
Okay.
Now you're bright. Have we been to a medieval festival in Germany? No, not really. We went to a castle. We kind of were at a medieval festival, but it was very tiny. We went to a castle festival in a town that I don't remember the name of. We made a video of it though, and they did have some kind of medieval-ish stuff, but it wasn't a very big one, so I don't know if we could really call it a medieval festival.
How's this?
Nope. No, you definitely went backwards.
Okay. How about this? Too loud? Not loud enough?
I mean, you're fine.
Clear?
I think you were sounding better before when you couldn't hear.
Oh,
It'll be okay. No one's going to lose their minds.
How about that?
Yeah, that sounds okay, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
Everyone says. Oh boy, things are falling.
Yep.
Oh boy. Okay, now you're kind of a little loud though. But maybe you're just being loud. I don't know. Dutch gamer, she had like her like inbuilt camera mic. Obvious, I guess, somewhat obviously, but also her headphones can act as a mic. I don't know which one she's using. Sometimes her headphones, she has like a Hackintosh computer for anyone that understands what that means. And sometimes it has issues, but it's not easy to fix for those same reasons. So sometimes we just have to work with what we have. And we don't do this enough to like warrant buying actual microphones. So I don't hear you. We don't hear you. No.
I'll just talk louder.
You're fine, I think. You don't need to talk louder.
Jeez, but that keyboard.
Yeah, enjoy my keyboard.
All right.
Oh, okay. Shiki-miki means people who have money and love to show it off by trying to look so very, very chic. I think some people say Dusseldorf is like this too, but I don't know. That's what I've heard. Okay, but now I understand.
Oh, we went to a medieval festival in Rothenburg, and also, I think there was one more.
Yeah, I was
But I
telling
don't
them
know.
about we were there with Debbie. We had a tour of a castle. It's very tiny. We went there once with your mom, and the castle was closed, and it rained while we were there with Debbie. We went to 2 castles this day. I don't remember the name.
Bergstadtfest.
Yeah, Bergstadtfest. But you're right. Rothenburg was definitely a larger kind of festival.
Bye, Darian.
I don't think Shiki-miki is ever positive. Okay. I guess we have to go there and find out how we feel. Yeah.
I'll be
Dutch Gamer, your mic is out now.
What?
Dutch Gamer said that you're like, when you speak, it's out of sync with your audio. And that is true. I don't know why.
Now?
Now it's okay.
Okay.
Just pick one.
The other,
be happy with it.
The other option would be to like take the mic off the video camera, but I can't find that seemingly. Like when I selected that, you could hear me better, but then I could only hear you through one ear, which made no sense. So, ooh, Maybe I just switched the balance. I'm trying.
Asphyxia Tatis. Yes, definitely Dusseldorf. Yeah, I've heard that about Dusseldorf, but we don't go there a whole lot. Usually the only time we go to Dusseldorf is to fly when we're going to the airport. Yeah. If you ever drive by. Bye, John. Munich also has the same feeling. You may be prejudiced. Okay. We didn't, when we went south, we didn't go to Munich. I think we might have passed through it briefly, but we didn't stop because we were trying to get to Garmisch so that we could go on a hike. And we were already, I think, a little behind what we thought we were going to be. I agree with what John says. It works good. Forget about it.
The microphone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm leaving it like this.
Good. Moving on.
Yes. Posh isn't necessarily negative. I don't think Shicky-Micky's ever positive. A Christmas market in a castle. I don't know if we've ever done that.
No, not
we
actually.
know that there is one in Bergzatzwey, and we were there for October. We were there when there was snowmen. No, we were there the day after Christmas, but they were closed. So we kind of saw what the outside looked like decorated, but we were never in the party. Hello, John. Oh, bye, John. Whoops.
Arno says in Munich it's called the Schick area. Schick. I lived for 2. Yeah, we like Garmisch. It was, I mean, for us it's special because we hiked the Zugspitze and that's where we got engaged.
And the water is so pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because of the runoffs and all that. I think we probably would have liked to have explored more of Garmisch, but we got so sunburned from our hike in the Zugspitze. It was pretty brutal for us to go outside after that. And it was pretty...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't really have much to say. I was just talking about how brutal it was. We couldn't even hug after being after you proposed, you kiss or something, and even kissing was ow, my cheeks. Yeah. It was terrible.
We were really burnt. We really messed up there. And then my arms were so burnt that I couldn't even stand to let sun touch them. So I was wearing long sleeves and it was pretty warm. I think it was still in the 20s Celsius. So I was wearing long sleeves because I would rather be warm and sweat than deal with the pain from the sun. Maybe you can tell we didn't bring sunscreen. That was totally our fault. And it would have been fine if we had not tried to get to the top. We got burnt on the second day, not the first day.
Sorry. Okay, I'm back. If you ever drive the drive from Cologne to Frankfurt, I recommend a side stop in Limburg an der Lahn.
Add it to the list.
Okay. All right. We had some other suggestions. I'll just go digging through the chat to find them. Never touch a running system. Yeah, that's probably true. I try to please other people. Oh boy. Here's a bunch of stuff from Marcus. Copy and paste. We also really liked going to Paderborn.
Paderborn?
Yeah.
Paderborn.
Yeah, Paderborn.
Is that where the museum was? That was the Techie Museum? Yep. I love the tech museum. That was fun.
And it's also really cool knowing that there were some like those the Ecksteine or the Existenzsteine, like those stones that we were first looking up, that they were so close, and I wish we would have gone there.
Yeah.
Oh well. You know, that's the sad thing is like we haven't been to a lot of places. But
Yeah.
and you have a limited number of days to like live, and so kind of like when your mom was here, either like you spend your time traveling to all of the places, or like you kind of relax a bit. And I think we have to get better about balancing that, because definitely when we went to the South, that was hard.
Yeah. Real quick, Dutch Gamer, I'm pretty sure said it. Where is it? Yeah. Asked if we have an Instagram account. That's for anyone who's confused. IG is for an Instagram account. And yes, we do. I just put the link in the chat. You can find us at or on Instagram if you search Ellie and Lucas, you can find us. We post somewhat often.
I just posted a picture of Brexa.
Yeah. So we don't use Instagram probably nearly as much as we should as a YouTube channel. But we do post once in a while.
Yeah, we should get better at that. We could.
Heidelberg is nice too. Have we been to Heidelberg?
Yes.
No,
that was
yes.
the last place we came on the day home. Remember, like when we were all sunburnt? And that was that castle. The ruins. Where like the inside was all kind of, it was a mixed match of like apokes.
I remember.
Yeah.
I've been to too many places.
I know, I feel bad.
There's the castles that really stand out in my mind, and then there's like the castles that stand out less so in my mind. And then even then I don't necessarily remember all their names, I just remember what it was like to be in them. You're welcome, Dutch Gamer. AKA, what are the least countries you would like to visit? Generally, South America isn't much for my personal interest to visit, and as well as India. You want to go first?
No, go ahead.
Okay. For me, I pretty much agree with you. South America feels iffy to me. I know a lot of people who have had great experiences in South America, and so like I try my best not to be like too opinionated about it since I've never been there. But I understand like the problems that parts of South America have. So it's like it's difficult for me. And even I worked here in Germany doing chemistry. I worked with a guy from Brazil, and he was like very, very nice. His wife was very, very nice when I met her. And he talked a lot of great things about Brazil. So like it's, I try not to like let like the terrible things you hear about the countries influence me too much, because like, of course, there's also great parts of those countries. But I do have like, I guess angst, if we want to say it that way. I do feel nervous sometimes about the idea of going to South America, as well as India, for like the similar things, the bad things that you hear, but I also hear great things. And also like the Middle East for like, again, the same reasons. It's very hard for me to like filter out the negative media that you see and hear, but I do realize that cannot be true for all parts of those countries.
Yeah. I'm like, particularly from watching Kara and Nate's videos about their experiences in India, they went to during like the Holi festival. And so like they were told that women shouldn't be out at that time because like the festivals can get really dangerous. And they also got like sick from some of the food because it's not, I don't know. It's kind of the same story. I went to Nicaragua once and we all kind of felt sick. Like you shouldn't, like they don't treat their water, and we're not used to untreated water. So we can easily get sick because our stomachs aren't built up towards that. So I think I'm most afraid of like getting food poisoning that way.
Yeah.
It happened to Kara and Nate in India, and so to me that just seems kind of like. But it also seems like a really cool place, so I don't know. I don't really think there's a country I'd like hate to go to.
No, I don't think so either. Just ones that I have some like apprehension for.
For me, I'm more nervous about like Central America versus like Southern America.
Oh, I guess I always kind of almost think of them as the same. I recognize that they're not. I just like in my mind, I like kind of lump it all together. But it's also the same. I just saw who's that traveler guy? He's from Madison.
Oh God, he has.
Starts with a B, right?
Drew Binsky.
Yeah, Drew Binsky. And I saw a recent thing on Facebook from him about like Mexico and how like, and he was basically tackling the same thing, right? He was like, yeah, Mexico gets all this like flack, but like a lot of Mexican cities are actually like very beautiful. They're very normal. It's more like the border cities that have like the more terrible parts of them because like that's where drug cartels and stuff tend to be. And so like, you just have to find, I think, the good parts of the countries, which is true in America too. I'm not going to send a new person from Germany to like downtown Chicago or Milwaukee on their first day in the US. Yeah. Like I'll go to downtown Chicago now, maybe not downtown Milwaukee, but I'm not going to send a new person to those parts.
Yeah, I mean, we also still like travel to like downtown Milwaukee, like, or maybe that's like uptown. I don't know. I had an uncle who like has a condo there, and I have my cousin and two of my cousins and my uncle live there. So I have like 4 family members who live in Milwaukee, and they fine. Jakin lives in Milwaukee.
Yeah, but they live more in a suburb, and there's just parts of Milwaukee you shouldn't really go to. Not that you can't, you just have to be careful, but that's true anywhere.
I guess I'm afraid to go to a country where like if you take a photo, or like if they think that you're like doing something harmful when you're not. Like for that reason, I'm afraid to go to North Korea because like, you know, if they think there's certain things you can do to disrespect people there that I wouldn't necessarily think about. I don't have an example, but like.
Yeah, well, that's stuff we should, if we want to be traveling more, we need to look up anyways.
Yeah.
Because different countries have different, you know,
rules.
Cultural stuff that we need to be aware of.
Oh, we have someone. Did you see we have someone from Sweden? I'm going to say your name is Mikael, but I don't know if that's right.
Hello from Sweden. We would. We haven't been to Sweden. We should. No, we do want to though. We have. I think we have this weird thing where we'd like to go to a lot of the more like northern, typically snowy and colder places. But I think they seem to have some very beautiful landscape. Maybe because they're less touched. I don't know. Someone have to tell me. I don't know how industrialized Sweden or Finland are, but I always hear that they're very beautiful, very great.
Michael also said that the first time we said Brexa, like our cat's name, he thought we said Brexa, which is true. So when we got her from the Humane Society, that was her name, was Brexa. Okay. And so I was thinking, I was like, I don't like this name Brexa. It sounds weird. And I would also name her Brexit. But then, so we were trying to rename her, and I was like, oh, let's call her Bridget. And yeah, Bridget is not a cool name for a cat. And so after 2 days of trying to do that, we're like, nope, it's Brexa, and that's the way it stays. So yeah, Brexa. She's sleeping on the windowsill. Must be too warm for her. Arno also says that in Oberstdorf, the Breitachklam is really cool. I would have to check that out too. We can put that on our list. And AKA says we are a sympathetic and pleasant couple to talk with. Sympathetic for me is interesting because I feel like sympathetic for me means that like you sympathize with others. Like if someone's having a bad day, you're like, oh, I'm sorry. And that's sympathy. Like that's one of those words that's like, to me, it doesn't work in English. I think empathetic. I don't really know. I think sympathetic in German is like nice or like understanding. And that's one of the ones I feel like sympathetic. Sympathy. for it.
Michael would like to see ancient Egypt. I'm far too much of a coward to go there. I would like to go to Egypt. I knew some people that went there, and they seem to have a lot of fun from Facebook.
I know someone who lives there.
Oh.
I think I know 2 people that live there. My goal was when I met all of the people that I knew in like Marburg for like our language learning courses, there was a lot of people from different cultures. And so since I kind of like remember them or like, you know, I'm like, oh, maybe like when we travel in the future, they'll like let us stay with them and show us around so we don't seem like such foreigners. And that way you're a bit safer.
Yeah, that's true.
So that would be my hope, but I don't know if I still am in contact with any of them as much.
Is the water in most of Isn't the water in most of Europe and North America the best quality from the faucet? Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. Sweden is a super vacation country. So is Finland. All right.
Bye, John. John is going to watch the soccer game, which we should do more of too. Not so cultured as you think we are.
Yeah, we also don't really have TV, so.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But we managed to watch the final in 2018.
We did watch the World Cup that year. But even then, I think we had to use my laptop to stream it from a British website because we couldn't get it here. Because we don't pay for like television. And we have like a antenna, but it doesn't work very well.
There are ways you can do it for free. I just don't remember the websites because I did that in 2016. But yeah.
I'm sure there are. But we were also in a rush then and we were new and stuff, and it was just like,
yeah.
We did get it for free.
Andre says he likes it when Americans use German words like Angst or Schmutz. Then you will like our video tomorrow because tomorrow we're talking about the videos, the words that we wish we had in English. So you can think about what you think we'll put in there, and you'll see it tomorrow.
Hello, Prometheus.
Moin. I probably sound weird when I say that, moin. I think to me it always reminds me of the seagulls in Finding Nemo at the end that are like trying to
Moin?
Yeah, moin.
Mikael says we need to go to Sweden. Agreed.
Okay. Tell us some cool places in Sweden. We're writing a list.
Yeah, give us some suggestions.
Michael, our teacher, tells us that sympathetic and sympathisch are false friends. Yeah, that's so true. But like, I don't know if the equivalent, like, I guess you would just mean like good and nice people. That one is so hard for me to translate.
Yeah, Big Ernie, we have like issues with like sympathetic and sympathisch for that reason. Like it always confuses me because like now I understand like what sympathisch means, but like that one really trips up a new learner.
The other hard thing is like I find that a lot of German speakers use that a lot, and they're always like, yeah, they're sympathisch, and I'm like, what? Like they're sympathetic? Like to me, it just sounds weird, and yeah, I have to better learn that word. Finland and Sweden.
Lots of Americans here in Stockholm.
Lots of people are obsessed with soccer. I don't like soccer. Dutch Gamer, tell us some sports that you like. Like, do you prefer to watch another sport, or do you just not like sports at all? Like, we don't watch football at all. Like, I can follow the game. I kind of know the rules, but like, we don't really watch any sports.
No, we don't. When I was younger, I'd watch tennis because I was a tennis player. But yeah, we don't really watch a lot of sports, but we don't watch a lot of anything.
Oh, that's a lie. We watch a lot of like comedy series, like How I Met Your Mother and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah, we like sitcoms. So right now we're on How I Met Your Mother, if you've ever seen that show. I watched it when I was younger, and so I recently introduced it to Ellie because we were watching Big Bang Theory for like the third time, and there was some Gordon Ramsay, but we've like flown through all of those, so we're trying out a new one. Lots of Americans in Stockholm. Obviously, we've never been there because we've never been to Sweden. But it also should let us know some places that are like not like super traveled because we like to get off the like beaten trail too. Although when we went to Switzerland, because were we even doing YouTube when we went to Switzerland?
We started, no.
I don't think
We
so.
started
No.
like 4
We
months
started,
later.
yeah. When we went to Switzerland, so at the hotel bed and breakfast, I don't know what, I guess we call it bed and breakfast, but if you're not familiar with the term, it was more like a restaurant that would also had room to sleep like two like couple, like they had 2 different like guest rooms for people as well. We call it usually a bed and breakfast. And it was the restaurant had great food, and we would get very delicious fresh baked bread in the morning. But it never occurred to us that where we were going, because we were going there to snowboard for like a week, and over New Year's, they didn't really speak English where we were. Like, at least we were a little higher up in the mountains, and the little village we were in didn't really speak English. Our like restaurant hotel guy spoke it really well, but no one else did. So we went to like a restaurant down the road to eat pizza because we didn't really bring a lot of food, and the restaurant was booked because it was New Year's. And so I like called ahead to this pizza place, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we don't really speak English." So like I think I had to speak to their chef, their cook, their pizza cook, who was like this elderly, like 70-year-old man, still cooking pizzas, to like make our reservation. And then we get there, and like the wait staff spoke like no English, just French. And I'm sitting there like, okay, I learned enough French in high school. I should be able to do this, but I can't even remember what water is. And yet, but they seem to know like some Spanish. So then we used Ellie's limited Spanish.
It was funny.
But yet they were very nice. It was like weird. And it was like a family-run business. And I think the mom like came by and tried to talk to us at one point. So we just kind of smiled and nodded. It was very, I've never felt so at home with people without knowing what they're saying. AKA, will you do another cooking meal video? We can, if you like them. Maybe we won't do such a big one. We've like considered it. It never seems like our cooking videos seem the most popular, so we don't put a lot of time into them. Not that we can't. Start with Stockholm or Gothenburg. Okay. Mikhail's neighbors are from Texas. Okay.
I often find it's really like interesting to hear like other Americans in like places like in Europe. It just seems weird to me. And not a lot of Americans like leave America, or sorry, the US.
It is interesting.
Likeable.
Dutch gamer watches field hockey. Okay, never watched field hockey.
Is that like lacrosse? Like, you know, where you have the sticks with the nets?
I guess Dutch gamer will have to like clarify. In my head, when I hear field hockey, I think of like hockey, but maybe they use like a ball. And
no, it's the net. Ow.
It's lacrosse? Okay.
No, okay. Lacrosse is not the same as field hockey. Field hockey uses a stick that is curved and smaller, and the goal is smaller. So they're like similar.
Yeah, okay. So it's kind of like what I thought.
Not.
Yeah, okay. That looks brutal. Things with sticks, sports with sticks seem like they would hurt a lot.
Rugby also like scares me. I would not play rugby.
Yeah. Axel says, hello. Hi, Axel. Why aren't we outside enjoying the sun? Because we're cave people. No, I'm kidding.
I will get sunburnt like none other.
Yeah. Mostly because we have this live stream scheduled. We were out this morning. We went for a bike ride this morning for I don't know how long, an hour, 45 minutes, 30 minutes.
45. Or sorry, an hour. Like to go
Really?
around Baldney. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Hang on, I can tell you.
If that took us an hour, that's kind of sad because when we were triathlon training, we used to do that route in like 20 minutes.
Yes, but we haven't exercised properly since November, so I mean, it would
I
be
understand that,
understandable.
but that's why it's sad.
I know, which is why I wanted to start exercising again. This is our dilemma.
Yeah.
Current dilemma is exercising.
Many Americans also moved to Denmark. Nina's not sure if they prefer Copenhagen or Stockholm. Well, we really liked the Netherlands when we went there. We went to Maastricht. That was really fun. I liked Maastricht a lot. And we need to be going there because they have Babs.
You have to explain Babs.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think Babs is a chain of any kind either. I think that was like a local restaurant. I hope they haven't closed from COVID. In America, and actually here in Germany too, there's a restaurant called Chipotle. Chipotle is like a Mexican version of Subway. If you haven't been there, you can go there and get burritos or taco salads, things like that. And basically you start at one end of a line, you tell them what dish you're going to have, and then you walk down the line and they build it in front of you. You tell them what toppings you want, stuff like that. So it's like Subway, but with tacos. And in America, they're fairly common, and I like it a lot. And we did find one in Frankfurt, in the mall, when we went to Frankfurt one time. But
we
in
didn't
Maastricht,
go because you
no, we
wouldn't
didn't go
let
there.
me.
Well, if you wanted it that bad, we could have. But in Maastricht, they have a place called, I think it's Bob's, or is it Babs?
BABS. Bomb
Yeah,
ass burritos.
Yeah, it's called Bomb Ass Burritos, I think. And so I pronounce it Babs. I shortened it. And it's so good. It's just like a Chipotle. And it was so delicious. So we really should go back to Maastricht. And the thing that's really sad about it is Maastricht is like a 2-hour drive from Essen. So it's not even that far. Like, we could certainly go there.
Okay,
Like,
this weekend.
Maybe next weekend.
That
can be our first travel. That can be our first back out again video. No, okay. Michael said it's not like lacrosse. Yeah, and we figured that out. The rugby. Michael likes rugby. Yeah, Dutch Gamer explained it more. Yeah, okay. Then I also have a couple from Russia. Apparently Stockholm's a place to go if you want to be surrounded by all cultures at once. But I think Sweden's also very expensive, right? Or Stockholm is very expensive to live.
I don't know. My friend's brother went to like either Finland or Sweden. I think Finland. I think he was in Helsinki. I don't know. For like a semester, and he didn't like it, and he found it was very expensive. But he's also never really traveled much, I don't think. I don't know.
Because my old PhD boss moved to Sweden for like a year for his postdoc, and he said it was very hard to find apartments, and they're very expensive because of it too. And of course, Sweden also has like higher taxes, which like I understand at that point. But,
Axel says he lives a bit north of Maastricht.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool. Ooh, restaurants in Maastricht are open. I also don't know like what the regulations are in other countries versus Germany. Like for us, it was just hard enough to keep track of Germany.
Yeah, and Pedro, my classmate, he's from Portugal. He says Portugal's like basically open, like completely open. God, we should go back. I liked Maastricht. It was very nice.
Yeah.
Someone said in Maastricht
that they tested the Chipotle in Frankfurt and were not impressed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. Well, okay, then it's good we didn't go. But on that same note, I remember having Pizza Hut in Frankfurt, and it tasted disgusting. Like, I also don't think I like pizza. Yeah, it was like the dough was so sweet. It was terrible.
Oh, I think that's normal. I don't think you would like Pizza Hut normally.
I mean, I used to eat it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But like over the
'Cause-
years, it's gotten like sweeter, and it just doesn't make sense.
Because there's a Pizza Hut in the Dusseldorf Hauptbahnhof, and I ate there when I had to travel to the U.S. by myself when you'd already gone for the wedding, and so I ate at the Pizza Hut because I wanted a quick bite to eat before I went to the hotel to sleep.
And
I enjoyed it. It's fine with me.
okay.
I mean, but I'm okay with Pizza Hut, but I wouldn't eat a lot of Pizza Hut.
Have we made German friends?
Yes.
Actually, yes. I think a lot of my closer friends, I feel like, come from Germany. I still have some from the US, but like, I don't know. I feel like somehow it's easier to make closer friends in Germany, or I don't know, we just stick together. I met a girl on my first day of going to the Essen Uni for like the meeting for all the students who would be starting studying, and that's how I met my friend Debbie, and we've been like close friends ever since 2018, so it's great. And you also met your coworkers, Julian?
Yep. Pretty much all the coworkers I met in the
And
first 2 years
Rafaela?
have been pretty consistent friends, and lately we've actually got to like see them, like actually hang out with them a little bit, which has been nice. I quickly wanted to say, Dutch Gamer, I saw your message, and yeah, that link is the place we're talking about.
Yeah, but we have made German friends. Also, some of my friends that I made in 2014 when I did my semester in Marburg, like I'm still in contact with them today. Granted, one of them was from Trier, but the other two were from Italy and the Netherlands. So, yeah, so they're not Germans, but we met in Germany. So, yes.
B100 says if you go northwest or south from Germany, everything becomes expensive. And Arno says Switzerland is also expensive, which that is true.
It's totally true.
It was very expensive.
That expense, that vacation. But it was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, yeah. It's too bad we didn't have our channel at that point, because that would have been a hilarious video. Because
why?
So, when we went to Switzerland to snowboard, because me and Ellie like snowboarding, and we hadn't snowboarded yet since being in Germany. So we made this whole trip out of it. It's like one of the biggest trips we've done, probably one of the bigger ones we've done in Germany since being in Germany. That and Cinque Terre were our 2 like week-long trips that we've done.
Okay, but the whole Zugspitze week where we visited like 20 castles.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Anyway, so we went to Switzerland, and I thought I brought snow pants to Germany, and then when we were packing, I couldn't find them. And I was like, well, it's no big deal. I'll buy new snow pants when we get to Switzerland. So then the day we first went snowboarding, we went looking in the town where the resort was, and we walked into a place, and they said like that snow pants were already on sale. And I was like, oh, sweet, that's awesome. And I found a pair that looked cool. And then I looked at the price tag, and it was 400 Swiss francs, which translates to like, I think like $500 or something. It was so expensive. And I was like, I do not have the money to buy these. And we tried looking for cheaper things, and it was like, I think maybe I found a pair that were like 200 Swiss francs. And it's not like I'm not even willing to spend that much money on snow pants. I'm willing to spend it if I have it and if they're really good. But at that moment, I didn't have money to spend like that when we were going to be in Switzerland for another week. So I wore jeans for the whole week snowboarding. I would put a pair of sweatpants on, and then I would put jeans on, which is very hard to do with sweatpants. And that's how I snowboarded for that week, was in jeans and sweatpants. And I remember on the gondolas, on the chairlifts, the kids would get on and they'd see my pants and point to their parents, be like, he's wearing jeans. It went fairly okay, actually. Like, I would try, when I would sit down, I would try to sit on my hands to keep my butt from getting too wet. I mean, I never got cold or anything from it. It worked well. And I have yet to buy snow pants. I still don't have any.
What happened to your old ones?
My old snow pants?
Mm-hmm.
They must just be in America.
We could go get them the next time.
We probably should. The thing is, So like, because like when we moved here, I have like a bag that I put all my snowboarding gear in, and I've always used that bag. So I just assume they're in there. So I don't know why they're not. Maybe I took them out to dry once. That's probably what happened, and then I never put them back in.
But you don't have that bag here, do you?
I'm pretty sure I do.
I don't think you do. I don't remember seeing it.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
If it's not here, then that's the problem.
I also don't think you have your snowboarding jacket. You had like a black Columbia thing.
I have like 3 jackets because your grandparents had bought me one every winter for the first 3 years that we were together. In fact, every winter your grandparents would buy me a jacket. True story.
Okay. Dennis says hello, and he likes our channel. He loves our channel. He's in Münster. Münster is also doing really good with COVID, but let's not bring up COVID. And yes, we are still living in Rutenscheid.
Andres asked for the link from Dutch Gamer. If you're talking about for the Babs burritos, I just posted it, Andres, for you. Okay, continue.
Yeah, that's all I was saying. Prometheus says, do I have German ancestors? Actually, we both do, don't we? You?
I do. I'm mostly Polish, but there is some German.
Okay. Yes. I'm pretty sure my grandmother's grandmother, so my great grandmother's Austrian and my great grandparents are German. So yeah, and my last name is a German last name. I'm pretty sure my great grandparents came here from Germany. Not entirely sure. I'll have to check on that. But my grandfather learned German in college, and so did my uncle. My dad didn't really. But then in high school, you had to learn a language, and they only had like in-class Spanish. And I was like, no, like, I don't want to be like everyone else. And plus, I think it'd be cool to learn the language of my ancestors. So then I decided I was taking German, and it was online. And yeah, I didn't really learn much from it. I mean, I should have, but I kind of was like, yeah, articles aren't important because we don't have them in English. And yeah, so I just kind of threw them out the window. But yeah, so I learned most of my German in college, and actually like coming to Marburg, that was when I really started to better my German. It's been a long road with me in German. Like I started in 2010. Yeah.
Mikael says, yeah, taxes are high, but like healthcare is not as expensive in the U.S. and that we did the right thing moving from the U.S.
Yeah. It's hard for us because, like, of course, we feel really close to a lot of the culture in the U.S., but I definitely love the healthcare system here. Like, that's something that I wish the U.S. had because it's just simply it's more affordable. And, for example, I was having an issue where I couldn't breathe properly, and they said that my nose muscles were too small, and so I just got those enlarged. And I didn't pay anything for it. But if that happened in the U.S., that would have cost so much money. And it's sad.
Yeah,
and
we
so
for
people
sure
don't
understand what's going on.
go to the doctor when like they have issues because they usually can't afford it. And yeah.
Yeah, for
It's
sure
also
that's like
sad
a big downside.
because I feel like a lot of people don't take COVID as seriously as Europe does. And I mean, now we're biased because we went through the whole COVID pandemic here. So we definitely have views about it. Whereas in the US, I don't know, it seems like the whole country's like split. And that's sad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree.
Axel says, could you make a video about the city and the buildings and show people that Germany isn't all castles and fairy houses?
I mean, we've done that like for a lot of our city ones before.
Yeah, we do have. I mean, a lot of our castle ones have included cities. But not all of them. We have just done some city stuff as well.
But,
so I've seen in comments some people say we should do a video for Essen, which we've never done.
It's also hard.
In the comments, people have said like for Essen we can do like obviously Gruga, the Zollverein, Baldise. Yeah. We do have a Baldise video. That's like one of the first ones we ever did. So it's also maybe not like one of our best ones ever, but we did do it.
If you're looking for more city videos. We did paddleboard. We did Treeberg, but that's okay. That might be more fairy tale. I feel like we've done Frankfurt. We've done
Dusseldorf. We've done Cologne.
Koblenz. We've done Koblenz. So yeah, and most of those videos will be probably June, July, August of 2019, 2020,
Yeah.
2020. So yeah, if you want to look those up, we definitely have those posted.
Yeah, and we do have like from our earlier subscriber goals. We do have 2 cities that we need to go to still too.
That's right.
We should maybe check out what their like opening statuses are like, because then maybe we could like think of those too.
Yeah, Berchtesgaden and Trier. Trier is really close to us.
Yeah. Andres, you are welcome for snowboarding. Perhaps you can contact Mike Nimch, Baunhof of Haley.
I think V100 said.
Huh?
I think V100 said it would have been cheaper to fly back to Germany and buy it there.
Oh, yeah.
I think
that's
you meant
probably
your
true.
snow pants.
Yeah. That I got that. Which is true. Maybe when we're back, we should look, because
No,
I've always.
I don't.
What?
Never mind. Keep going.
Yeah, I should look for snow pants when we're back, because I'm probably be able to find them on sale, because it'll be a weird time of the year. I just want a nice pair of snow pants, because I know the ones I have back home I've had for a long time and they're not great. So I just like a nice. So that's why I'm willing to pay more, just because I would like a really good pair to be done with, because I'm not growing. So.
He says you could contact Mike Nimsch.
Yeah, I don't quite understand. Bahnhof of Haley for snowboarding.
Boyfriend, not Bahnhof.
Oh, it's Deutsch. BF means Bahnhof.
BHF.
I swear, someone agree with me, please. Sometimes you see it BF, right? I know you do. I think I could be wrong. Okay. That makes more sense.
HBF is Hauptbahnhof.
Yeah, I know that. I swear though, I'm going to start looking around Google Maps now and find them.
Okay.
It exists.
What do we study? Oh, V100. I should also clear something up. So it's not a nose implant. They just like used radio waves to make the muscles wider. Usually they'd use a laser, but with new technology, this procedure is better with like radio waves, because the laser would make it bleed. So like they just made it smaller. There's nothing in my nose. I didn't get a new nose. It's the same nose.
It may be better to say it more like the muscles in Ellie's nose were like enlarged. They were too big. And so they're like making it hard to get proper airflow. So they like heated them so that they would shrink. That's maybe a better way to say it.
What do we study while you're on your Bahnhof thing? I study teaching. I'm getting my master's in teaching for English and German, with a certificate in German as a foreign language. And I'm writing my thesis right now, so I'm like at the very, very end. Yay! Lucas, what do you study?
I study? I don't study anything anymore. I have if you don't know, I have an undergrad and degree in a bachelor's in biochemistry. And then I considered doing like a bachelor's of chemistry here in Germany. That hasn't necessarily panned out. So most of the things that, if I'm studying anything now, it's all like stuff to make YouTube videos and become a better videographer and photographer, things like that. Mikhail says that he's interested in listening to us from the U.S. and
maybe because we sound cool.
Maybe understand that you think it's hard to leave the U.S., but the U.S. is not the whole world. Yeah, we do definitely agree with like that thinking. Like, like we have like family and friends back home who have like never left the US, who like consider traveling to just mean like going to another state in the US, which like is of course traveling, but it's like they don't
For
have
us, it's
a
not the
more
same.
worldly experience with it. So yeah, so we'll see with things like that. But for sure, like the US is not the whole world. And we do definitely like a lot of things about Germany or like European countries in general.
Yeah. It's
uh,
hard though. What we don't like here is we find it's hard with like the criticism and the paper trails and stuff. And I find there's a lot of areas where Germany could be improved. I mean, but like a lot of people find it's good as it is, which is hard for me. Especially with like teaching and digitalization and stuff like that. But so if we were leaving, we would definitely miss like the healthcare system, and we really like the I don't know. We just like a lot of the systems, like especially also universities, how they're much more affordable.
Yeah, basically when it comes to money, we like a lot of the European systems and German systems. Things
It's
that
like the culture of the US that we miss. But we've actually talked about moving to Canada too, because Canada
We
is
have
quite
talked
similar
about that.
to Germany
Yeah, or more similar and stuff.
with like the healthcare and stuff. And
which I'm not against.
Like I really love the whole maternity leave thing that Germany and like Canada has, whereas in the US, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like it as much, but
Axel wants to know how our cats are handling the heat and if we put down damp towels. We have not put down damp towels. They seem to handle it quite well. In fact, a lot of times we seem to find them in their very, very fluffy and what would be warm beds curled up. So they don't seem to mind. And I don't see them drinking water more often than normal. So they seem okay. But our cats are also kind of weird. One of them acts, you could probably step on her tail and she wouldn't do anything. She's a nut. That's Brexa. She's a weirdo. And actually, I just saw Gabby trying to go into one of the new cat beds we bought them, which should be like a furnace, in my opinion. She didn't make it in, but she tried to. So
she's sitting by the doorway for food now.
Yeah, she's getting hungry. It is past their food time.
That's okay. They'll live.
Nina explains HBF. I didn't find a BF example, so either I'm just dumb or I don't know. I swear, though, I am not crazy, but I might just be crazy.
Mikhail brings up a good point. He says that he hopes we enjoy where we are now and that we get used to it after a while. And we do. We plan on going back to the U.S. In August and September for 2 weddings. And we've like had this conversation multiple times about how we should handle wearing masks, because like over here, for example, like you need to wear your mask, but in the US, like they've like lifted the restrictions, I think, or like people don't wear it, you know, like it's kind of just like, you know, and here it's like you must wear them. And I feel like when we go back to the US, even how we dress now, I feel like we're so German sometimes. Or we're like, why is this here? We like completely follow the rules. And I think we've kind of gotten a little Germanized.
Yeah, it is different for sure. When we like land in the US, I feel like somewhat like an outsider. Like I just see the US differently. And that should be like the goal of international travel. You should do that, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Hello from the Niederrhein, Hubby Hub. Isn't it weird? What?
Huh?
You talking to me?
No.
Okay. Isn't it weird sometimes if a German speaks school English because it's British? Well, you know, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm teaching English right now in a German class, and I wouldn't say that most of them have British English. I feel like you learn British English in the books, but I feel that they hear a lot of American English in like the music and the movies and stuff. So I feel like I honestly kind of think they have more of American English accents, but I think older speakers have more British English. This can also depend on where the students are.
I only notice the whole British English part of Germans if they're writing because of the comma.
Because of the comma.
Yeah, because they use the comma differently.
It really bothers me with the Z and the S. Like they don't use Z for a lot of stuff. They use
there's
S.
that one too.
Practicing instead of a C.
there's
It's
that.
just weird.
Where? Thought I saw something else.
Germany's playing
where-
Portugal right now.
Ah,
I hope Germany wins, Prometheus.
where are you hiking in the Lapland North?
We were not hiking in the Lapa North. I don't know where
But
the
maybe
Lapa
we
North
should.
is.
Axel asks me, do you have to keep studying in your field to keep up? If I was more involved in chemistry, yes, I would. But at the moment, it's like unclear to me if I'm going to continue like the academia side of things.
Why?
You already know. Oh, now you're Miss Reporter Ellie. My general background is really kind of weird. I think most people seem to think so. And during my time in the uni in the U.S., back then I wanted to be a doctor, like a surgeon. So I got a biochemistry bachelor's because I wanted to go to medical school. But also while I was in the uni, I was interested in computers. So I got a minor, which I understand a lot of European countries don't really understand what a minor is because it's not really a degree. It's just kind of like part of a degree.
It's
Usually it's like
Nebenfächer and Nebenfach.
Okay. Yeah. It's usually more like a supplement. And so usually people like doing a biochem major would do like a chemistry or biology minor, something to supplement it. But I did something totally different. So I did computer science because I was interested in computers and everyone thought I was very weird for it. Like I had multiple professors say, why are you doing this? It doesn't make sense. But I wanted to learn it. So why not learn it? Then me and Ellie moved here, and towards the end of my time in uni, I was becoming uncertain if I wanted to do chemistry or be a doctor because of my research during undergrad years. I really liked it. So I thought, okay, I'll work with a chemist in Germany and see if I prefer that, working in a lab over medicine. So by the time I finished that stuff, I really thought I liked chemistry. But I also, growing up, always thought videos were cool, but just never had the software or the reason to do it. And then the YouTube channel gave me a good reason. And so then I started branching into that. So for me, the problem is simply I don't know what I want to do in a lot of situations. So I keep on trying out everything that I want to do to see where it takes me. And I mean, at least right now, doing YouTube and the video editing work that I do for a lot of US people for their YouTube channels, it's enough to support me financially and I enjoy it. And if I could continue working this way sustainably and having my own schedule, I'm also happy to do that. So I don't have to go back and do a PhD if I don't have a reason to, probably. It's kind of, I understand, weird, but ultimately I just want to do whatever I find enjoyable that will also financially make me happy.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. There's your essay. I saw going on to that feed 100 said that a bachelor's in biology, chemistry, but truly in anything in Germany isn't really good for anything. You need a PhD, which I fully understand and realize, which was a worry when we moved here because I was like, no place would want to hire me for anything with a bachelor's. So it was very lucky that there was that my uni professor in the US knew the guy that would eventually become my boss here in Germany while I did chemistry. It worked out very well. Very lucky.
Axel says he thinks that 60% of the U.S. citizens don't even have a passport.
That's probably
they
true.
Don't leave. Yeah. And that makes me so sad. Like, I think the U.S., people from the U.S. could learn a lot more about the world if they like traveled more, because it just opens your eyes to different things and you would then have different views about things when you come back. And I wish that more people did travel.
Yeah.
So yes, I understand.
Touch Gamer asked if we miss food. Were you saying something?
I was going to say Philip S. said, do you plan? And I don't know what he means by that. What do we plan? Our food?
Lots of things.
Travel?
We're always planning.
Yes. That's who I am. Do we miss food from the U.S.? No.
Ellie doesn't. I do. I miss I miss Chipotle. And now that
I
we know
miss-
that the Frankfurt one is crap,
We're not going.
we're not
We're
going.
just going to Babs.
We should just go to Babs. I do really enjoy Babs though.
I do miss like peanut butter. Like you have peanut butter here, but understand that in the US we have better peanut butter with no added sugar and it tastes so much better. Our jams and jellies in the US, there's a brand that has some with like less sugar. And I mean, obviously I could make my own jam and jelly, but I don't know why I don't have the time. But yeah, so I find there's certain things that I miss, like small things. I do enjoy when we travel back to the US. I do enjoy going to like Red Lobster and some of the restaurants that we have.
We do have like a list of restaurants that we basically like just run through within a couple days. They're just like here. But
one of our favorites is like a place that's like more local. They use locally produced stuff for their restaurant. It's called Red Eye in Wausau. And like I prefer that over much of the industrial food. Yeah.
But because that place is like a more local run, non-franchise, more like in Germany and stuff that you find.
Yeah, it's so good. It's the best. But I like the quality of food here usually better.
Like from grocery stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the bread.
The bread is for sure something we'll miss from here. I personally, from the U.S., often miss like the pizza, but that's becoming less of a problem now because I'm learning to make my own pizzas, which I make quite often now. I have 3 doughs in the freezer that are frozen. I thought about making one today, but not feeling it. Don't know what I'm going to eat then, though. No idea.
Yeah, me either.
I could go for a Döner. Maybe I'll have a Döner. What are you doing? Oh, you're sitting on the ball, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm rolling backwards on my exercise ball.
V100 says digitalization in teaching is probably a worthwhile effort, but then the schools lack the budgets and expertise.
Yeah, and that's what bothers me.
Yeah, you're going to put Ellie on her soapbox now.
Okay, I'll go on a short one. In my undergrad in the US, we had to take courses in technology, like on like smart boards and stuff like that. So like with us just starting out, we already knew how to use this stuff. And I find that teachers here don't have to learn that stuff, which makes me frustrated. And so of course, like if things like Corona happened, which was kind of random, like that's never happened before, with like, I mean, there's been pandemics, but not to like, I don't know what they did with school back then. But I think that teachers just aren't prepared for it. And I also find that teachers here don't have to take like courses, Weiterbildung or Fortbildung. So like where they get more, like there's in-service training in the US. So you don't, when you get your license, you aren't like good for life. Like you do have to, your school makes sure that you go for further education in some stuff, or they have courses on things. And I don't think that that's true here. Usually in Germany, when you get your license, you're like good. And I find that then like teachers will stay in the profession then for 30 or 40 years, but still using that same teaching technology and ideas that were around 30 years ago. And so of course their styles are different. And I don't know. That's one of my soapboxes. Gabby, come
on. Philip asks if our family will come over for vacation. They have already, once each. My mom was over here like just before COVID, and so was Ellie's mom. I think Ellie's mom wants to come back over, but it might not. It seems unlikely. I don't know, because we're going to be traveling soon back to the U.S. and then we'll be doing master's thesis and probably lots of YouTube things. But Germany is like, we're also uncertain because like as you know, living in Europe, like Europe is opening slower than the U.S. And so we think a lot of people in the U.S. don't realize how differently the world is handling COVID. Like they don't appreciate it. And so they think the U.S. is open so they can travel, but a lot of European countries are being very slow about it and being very cautious. And they're not as far with vaccinations either. So I don't know. It seems like not a thing.
Yeah.
Not likely. Axel also says that he saw the video of our kitchen and says it's the weirdest kitchen he ever saw.
I know.
And Michael says wearing a mask has become like a political statement in the USA.
Yes.
It's very true.
And
No
it
doubt.
shouldn't be.
Which is why like we feel like now it's good because we were getting vaccinated, right? But for a while we were kind of nervous about going back to the US because we have like a German now mentality about mask wearing, and the US does not. They have their own. And while most of the people we know in the US would be people that wear masks because they think like we do, there's also lots of people in the US who don't. And so like we were kind of concerned about it because we don't want to put up with people who are like, why are you doing that? You know, it's like, leave us alone then. So we're happy we'll be vaccinated because then we don't really have to worry about it. Unfortunately.
Hi, Klaus from Ham. One time, my mom, in 2018, we were thinking about living in Essen, and I was student teaching in Berlin. And my mom and I decided to take a train ride to Essen to kind of see what Essen was like because we thought we'd live here, like me and Lucas. So my mom and I wanted to check it out. And I don't know how this happened, but we ended up getting off the train in Ham. And then I think we got on the wrong train and then went in a different direction and then had to go back to Ham and then back to Essen. It was just like a whole mess. So yeah, I've somewhat been to Ham, but only the train station.
Bye, Arno.
What?
Arno left. I've skimmed through the chat quickly. Just some of it's just people talking.
Yeah, Dutch Gamer. Yeah, they write realize with an S instead of realize with a Z, and that bothers me because, of course, that's not how I learned it. Germans
yes or yay.
tend to punctuate English as if it were a German tendency. Yeah, I also tend to punctuate my German as if I'm an English writer or as if I'm writing English, and that's not. But I can punctuate in English, so if only they could in German. Landschaftspark Duisburg. Were we there? That was where we climbed the stairs.
That's where Turtle Tiger is? Then yes.
But there's also the they say industry ruins. So to me that makes me think of, remember we biked by there and then we climbed the stairs to an outlook? And there was a tetrahedron thing, or a circle thing in the distance.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that
is that maybe, yeah, okay, that could be it.
Or maybe that was Bochup. I don't remember.
Me neither.
I attended a wedding yesterday, and it was kind of weird having a party after all of lockdown. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. We were walking down Rutenscheider Strasse the other weekend, and it was like a party. There were so many people. It felt very weird. We just spontaneously wanted to go for ice cream, and we were like, oh, there's a lot of people here. Dutch Gamer later on in the chat says when he tried to become a teacher, they learned how to use smart boards and not old school boards. That's seemingly not the case from our experience in Germany.
Yeah, but I feel like he's in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure. But that is cool. See, that's what I mean.
Yeah, enjoy our cat. Nice cat you have. The cat's the real
I know.
the real star of the show.
She's just sitting now. She's just kind of in her void. Gabby. You also can't see her.
Oh yeah, you can't really see her.
She's so black. Oh. Gabby.
I finally saw where her head was when she moved it.
Yep, here we go. One zero. My guess is they're talking about the score from Germany to Portugal, or maybe I don't know what else we'd be talking about here. Oh, I heard someone screaming.
I heard someone scream too.
Oh,
Disallowed offside.
maybe we should go watch it.
You can get my Derner and we can find it.
Okay.
Holy crap, it's 6 o'clock. I've been doing this for 2 hours.
Yeah. I got a black cat's tail in my nose now, too. You don't understand. It's a real problem.
It is a real problem.
Disallowed offsides.
It was supposed to start raining at 7. I have to get my Derner before it starts raining.
Okay, maybe we should end our live chat.
Yeah. Maybe. We've been doing it for 2 hours.
Okay. Germans are
Dutch gamer. Drinking beer. True. Dutch gamers in the Netherlands at uni. And if he's
That
correct,
is so
whatever it is.
cool.
Yeah.
that all teachers have to learn how to use smart boards.
Yeah. We because we made like a video and some months ago, right? Where we talked about, one of the things we talked about was technology, and the comments were very split up. Some people are like, no, we don't need technology and smart boards and computers in our schools, like in Germany. And then some people are like, no, we're very far behind and we do need it to be improved. It's very,
Bye, Andres.
Bye, Andres. It sounds very split up, but of course, from our opinion, we're more on the smart board technology side of things. To be clear, not to say kids shouldn't learn how to spell with their hands, because a lot of people seem to think we were saying that, and that's not what we're trying to say. There's still basic things that kids need to learn without a computer. It's just they could use computers more. Maybe.
Axel also says that he had to learn how to teach digitally and that he missed the personal interaction. And I mean, I understand that. I'm not saying courses have to be completely digital. I just think in the classroom, a smart board would be cooler and still have class in person. I miss that too. But I don't know. When we talk about technology, we're not saying that schools should just be online, because I don't know. To me, I think that also misses something. They need classroom contact and socialization.
Mm-hmm.
Mikhail is learning things from our live chat. I mean, it is true. And we have to say, for those of you still with us, that we really, really love our YouTube channel, because we also learn so much from our viewers, or ways we don't think of things, because we have our American German mindset, and then you guys tell us, oh, well, we think this, and we're like, oh, well, that's interesting. I never would have thought that.
Yeah.
Axel says that the problem in Germany is that the post blocked the development of the internet, and as a result, many things common in other European countries are not used in Germany. So because the post office blocked that? That's interesting. I mean, that explains stuff. I actually think, because a lot of people also mentioned they're afraid of data breaches and people stealing their information, and I mean, I see that's a fear, and I understand that, and I understand that happened in the past.
But it just seems overly done
for us, because we don't really experience that,
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I just try to ignore it, because in the end, I kind of feel well, who could be listening to this? You kind of brought this up to me too. You said who really cares? We're not saying anything bad about people. It's not the CIA is going to want to come after us. I mean, those are my opinions, but
yeah. Okay.
I agree.
Turner is ready in a half hour.
Okay. I agree with you, Dutch Gamer, that technology should be in the physical school for all students. And that's what I mean when I say that schools should be have more digital stuff. For example, I was teaching my lesson on Monday. When I was teaching the students a year ago, because I'm in the same classroom, they had no technology, no computers, nothing. There were 3 computer labs in the school, but outside of that, nothing. I got there on Monday, and each classroom had a computer. And so I was like, okay, great. And then I was also told that each computer had a projector, so you could project things on the wall, videos, or, there's so much outside stuff that you need to that could help expand the textbook. there was not a projector, and so you had to like rent it. Fine, okay, whatever. So then the next day I came back on Thursday, and they, like 2 days later, they had removed all classroom computers. Like, if I had planned my lesson for that day using the computer and I didn't have my own, it's just gone. And that's something I don't understand, is like, all of a sudden it can just be gone. And it makes no sense to me. And so that made me really frustrated. And luckily I brought my laptop, because I would have been dead without it. But it just seems like such a hassle. And then you have to rent this cart, and it's all so old, and it's just, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, Exo places. Yeah, the Post didn't want information going over telephone lines. I mean, but like nowadays we have like better security. Like information is encrypted when it travels through the internet. So that's why we have HTTPS. Like, not to be too like technical. So like, I mean, I understand, especially because back then it was easier to like catch that information. But nowadays you can't just do that. So.
Dutch Gamer also says that like German people prefer cash over cards, and I do think that.
It's getting better though.
Yeah, I feel like there's this huge fear of security risks, and I feel like that's maybe the main reason behind it. Also, like the internet thing. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like you're safer nowadays, but I am no like expert. Just a thought. And many schools have bad internet access. That's true, because when I was there at the school, like. Sometimes the Wi-Fi just does not work. And you're like, well, and this is more often than not. Like, it's not like, oh, like once in a while. It's just like a lot, and it's just so annoying.
Yeah, it is weird. And like, so like when I started at my chemistry job when we first moved here, right, that was at a university, and I just assumed that they had Wi-Fi, you know, and they didn't. Now that I've left, they've started putting Wi-Fi in on like a floor by floor basis for like the research group specifically. But it was like very weird. And so then you had to like plug in with the cable, which is like not a big deal. But even then, like, you need to make sure your computer is registered so that they would actually give internet to it. It was just like very weird for like a university. And like the Bochum University is considered like a higher end research university, to my understanding. So like to not have it felt like very, And of course, we're kind of biased because we're Americans. And so like every university in America, of course, has internet and Wi-Fi. It's like impossible not to enter a building without Wi-Fi in the US. But it's just like, you know, how weird. And even my German like coworkers and boss would comment on it too. Like, yeah, isn't it funny that we're a German university and we don't have Wi-Fi in 2020? Yeah.
Yeah. We also don't like using cash if we can avoid it. I find that the coins are really heavy here, and I mean, that's not like a problem, but like, I don't know. It just is so much easier with the card. Yeah. I also find though, paying with a card, I often forget how much I pay. So I keep the receipt and check it when I go home. But that's
luckily,
not really
Ellie's better about carrying cash, or we'd be in trouble more often. I never have cash, like almost never, very rarely. And there have been times when like we're in places in Germany and they're like, nope, only cash. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. But like the one thing I also agree with Axel, like you can easily check out or like rent a house without having to like give them a lot of information. I think that's so weird. About the chaotic European history, well, it depends on what you mean with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that could mean.
I learned history in school, but I can't say I remember a lot of it.
Yeah. I mean, I remember like basic things. What?
But what are you, Stefan Zuscher says, but what are you doing if there's a blackout? Then I read a book or go outside.
Yeah. I
imagine you mean like in a more like overall sense though, like at schools and stuff, but like, this is like my point though, is like, I'm not saying we should use technology so much that it like, that we become useless without it. Certainly not. But like, there's still, I think, something to be said for how technology can like help us as like a race advance faster and better. And it's, I think, just kind of sad to hold yourself back. It's, we can go on about this all day. It's just like, it's just weird though, because especially like also from the US, Germany is thought of as a very like advanced country, and it certainly is. But then you get here and you realize that like some very normal things do not like exist, like that like schools do not have wide access to the internet and stuff. It feels medieval, but not. You know what I mean? Like it just feels weird because you're like, this is like one of the stronger countries in the world, and yet they don't have this, something we consider almost a common necessity. You know?
Yeah. It's interesting. And you can also think about the what ifs like all the time. Like, what if the Wi-Fi doesn't work? Well, I mean, then you just do your stuff. And like, I don't know. I feel like there's what ifs to everything, but I definitely feel like the advantages are much more greater than the possibilities that it wouldn't work or something. But that's our point of view.
And like my high school, when I was in high school in the US, we like I went to what in the US we call them private schools. I don't know if Germany does have things like this.
I feel like
one. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
For like small context, like in the US we have schools that are called public schools. They're funded by the government, the states, stuff like that. And you don't really pay much for them. And then we have private schools where they're not funded by the state or anything. And as a student, you pay tuition to go there. And so I went to a private school just because that's what my mom chose for me. And we used a lot of things like smart boards. We all had laptops. Each student had their own laptop to do homework. We were even encouraged to try to use like technology to like do presentations. But then one winter towards like my senior year, so like my second to last year, we had a really bad winter. It didn't snow like ever. It was just cold, like really, really cold. And one day it was so cold that when I drove up to the school, I walked in and all the lights out were off in the school. It was because it was so cold that we lost power in the school, and we still had school. We still had class without power. Just instead they shortened it to a half day because without power, they couldn't cook food for lunch either. But and that went on for like a week that we'd randomly lose power and we would just continue school without it. We would do things a little differently. I think our classrooms had both normal chalkboards and white smart boards. So if we didn't have power, then we still had something. But yeah, so I don't think we should get rid of everything, just moderation. Axel asks, what do we think about recycling, solar, wind power, and environmental rules in Germany? We like the recycling system. It's much better than the US, and people seem to actually use it, like sorting. Ellie looks really lost.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you all.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We like the recycling and trash system. It seems simpler than the US and better understood. I don't know a lot about the solar and wind personally, or the environmental rules. They never really come up for us, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know enough about that to really say.
I think solar's cool because I heard that like, I don't know the rules, but like I heard that a long time ago, like energy was so free because, or like they had like extra. Remember? I don't remember.
That does happen sometimes. Yeah, on really windy days, sometimes like the Netherlands or Germany, like their power becomes essentially free because they generate so much.
Or like they had a surplus or something. And I wish we did more of that in the US.
Yeah, I think the US is working towards it a lot. So I mean, from that end, yeah, I like what Germany does. I mean, I'm all for greener energy for sure.
Recycling's cool. I mean, I'm like a huge recycler. Like I will like, even if something is like paper and then plastic on top of it and they're like together, I will rip them apart and put them in their proper thing. Like I'm very religious about it. I even was in the US.
Yeah, that's true.
Have we changed our mind about the US since we moved to Germany? I also going back to Berthold, I've not been to New Orleans New Orleans,
New
North San Francisco.
Orleans.
You've been to San Francisco, but
I have.
Sausalito in the Bay Area.
Don't know what that is.
I also do feel like American people try to be really friendly, like to people who don't know the language, which I don't think
Huh.
is. I don't know if German people tend to be very friendly.
I think it just depends. The German people we know would be very friendly if you didn't
Yeah, that's true.
speak good German, right? I think also in parts of the U.S., if you don't speak good English, they'll also be mean. But like if you're in like San Francisco and stuff, like the big cities, a lot of big cities in the U.S. tend to be more like liberal sided politically, which tends to mean that they're also more open minded about culture and stuff like that. Like that's just kind of the truth of the U.S. So if you go to big cities like San Francisco, especially San Francisco, it's like a big hipster city. Like you're gonna meet a lot of people that are very open to others and stuff. It's just how it is. You're more likely to, anyways. Mikhail says, "Have you changed your mind about the U.S. since you moved to Germany?"
Have you?
Oh, okay. I'm answering. I don't know about changed my mind.
I feel like you just think about things differently.
Yeah, I think in the U.S., I think the U.S. does a really good job of instilling in its students and children, and as you grow up, that the U.S. is like a great country and it's continually done great and surpassed its issues and yada yada. But for me personally, as I got older, and went through college, it became more obvious like the problems that the U.S. does have. And like I was like, and maybe some people are just not willing to accept that those problems exist. Like they'd rather think of the U.S. as the great thing that they're taught that it is. But I'm willing to like see it for the problems it has. So I don't know if it's changed my mind, but it makes it easier for me to recognize and think of how it could be different, which is a good thing, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Like I think my idea of traveling is like you get new ideas of a place and maybe like ideas you can bring home from yourself. Like for example, when I traveled to Nicaragua, the people there were using like cardboard to even use like those toilet training seats for kids because they didn't have like a lot of them were poor, you know, and they had easy access to cardboard, so why not make it? And so I kind of used cardboard then to like build ourselves a cat castle so our cats could like have this tower, and it was super light, and I don't know. So like, and you also like kind of save the materials, like reuse them instead of just throwing them in the recycling box.
Yeah.
So kind of like a more sustainable way of living. And so, I mean, I think that that's the greatest thing about traveling is you learn other things and bring them back to like maybe a country that never thought like that. So yeah. What's for dinner tonight? You're having a dinner.
Yeah, I'm having a dinner.
I'm thinking about making broccoli pesto pasta, but
Ooh,
maybe I'll eat a watermelon and feta salad. No,
that'd
I
be
want
faster.
a sandwich.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can do that too. Yeah, do something quicker so my dinner doesn't get cold.
Okay, you can just eat it without me.
No, never.
Have a ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich sounds yummy. We should
Yeah.
find my dinner is ready in like 15. So
Okay, so we should go soon.
Yeah, I'll bike there. So
At 30 or like, should we leave at 18:50?
If you want to come with, I would like to leave in like 10-ish minutes.
I'm saying when would we end the live stream?
In like 5-ish, 10-ish minutes.
Okay.
Maybe we should like kind of just finish up what there is for questions. Dutch Gamer says, isn't it because those cities in the U.S. are used to tourism in regards to like San Francisco being more open? Yeah, I would say so.
But I also feel like the rural, small Wisconsin towns would also be friendly. Like
some of them, yeah.
I don't think if any would be mean, but I don't know.
But even like Stephen's Point, like my hometown, there are definitely parts of it. Like you will meet people who don't like foreigners. That's but it's also a university town, so I think that helps it be more open. There are also definitely rural towns in Wisconsin that would definitely not like foreigners.
I've never experienced that.
Yeah, you won't because you're American.
No, but like Even in my high school with like 7,000 kids, we had some foreign exchange students and like.
Well, that's great if it worked out, but there are
Yeah.
definitely still parts that won't.
Metric or imperial?
Metric. I had my phone telling me Celsius before we left the U.S. For like a year before we moved away. I would tell my boss how warm it was outside in Celsius, and he'd look at me and be like, "That doesn't do anything for me." And I was like, "Too bad. That's all I'm telling you."
I also think the U.S. should like get on the whole metric bandwagon because they're the only ones who don't. And
Yep.
Yeah, we also, this is another like soapbox moment for us.
Yeah, me and Ellie are pretty like I don't know, European-esque thinkers in terms of the U.S. I guess we like the metric system. We have no problems with it. We like Celsius. We like the way Germany and European countries do things. Which is probably why Canada is a great place for us. Have you heard from any Americans? Because I've asked them why they moved from their country, but they give almost the same answer.
Was the answer Trump?
Mikhail, I imagine you mean like they give the same answer, just being like about costs, like healthcare is cheaper outside of the U.S. and stuff. I mean, that's probably the reason any American really leaves.
I'd say the political system.
Yeah.
Like health is like secondary to that.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Axel doesn't like foreigners, but he also doesn't like anyone.
Fair enough. I mean, you subscribe to us and you've been in this chat for long enough, so we must not be too bad. Which country do you really want to visit? Yeah, Ellie, what country do I really want to visit?
Oh, I don't know. I think Madagascar.
No. I really want to visit Iceland. It's like my dream country right now.
Why?
Well, for one, me and Ellie were supposed to get engaged in Iceland. That's what was supposed to happen. Then COVID happened and it ruined everything. Very literally. Also, I've seen lots of videos. I mean, you can't really see any travel channel without seeing an Iceland video at some point, any popular travel channel. But I think Iceland just looks really cool. It has black sand beaches. It just looks very different. I was watching a video, a Peter McKinnon video the other day. He was talking with his friend, and they described Iceland as like, if you wanted to go to a country that would make you feel like you're not on the planet Earth, like that you're in a different world, Iceland is where you should go. And having only ever seen pictures and videos of Iceland, I felt like that was very accurate because like the nature there just seems very different. The black sand beaches, the landscape just looks so different. I think it looks really cool. So I need to go to Iceland.
Axel says we could get married in Iceland.
Could. But I already spent way too much money on the venue we have.
We can get married beforehand and then have a second wedding in the U.S.
Of course, yeah.
But then
you can have your mountain.
Yeah, and then our officiant would be all gypped off that he's not the first one.
True. Can't have that. It is better on the other side of the sea. Oh, is that like what people like from the U.S. say about like moving? I'm guessing.
It's better on the other side of the sea.
I mean,
I'm having an issue right now. I'm going to try something.
Okay, bye. Oh, she left. Oh, I don't know if she's getting back. I need to go get my Derner. I got a big, gross Derner without onions or tomatoes. Yucky. But with tzatziki sauce. Oh, I need to let her back in. This is my fault now. Hello.
Hi. Sorry, I couldn't read the chat because I clicked something and then it was all weird.
Answering Stefan. We need to leave soon for my dinner. Did you have any? He says did, but I'm going to just say it's do. You have any kind of to-do list for those places to visit in Germany / Europe?
Yes.
Yeah and no. Now we have a list.
I mean, we had one before. It was like the whiteboard
Oh.
thing on the wall.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, we do.
We really do. We need to go to Berchtesgaden and Trier because those were for the 1,000 subscriber, I think.
And
that was like our
500.
reward for that. Or 500, I don't know. Sorry.
I think both.
Okay. Yes. I don't know. So those definitely, and then we definitely wanted to go to the Schwerin Castle. We want to go to the Basteibrücke in Leipzig area. And yeah, there's a lot.
Okay. This is a really good spot to like stop because there aren't really any more comments. What should us end like this? What should our next goal number be? How many subscribers? I'm thinking 5,000. What?
That's a lot.
It is a lot, but like we're at 2. I think saying 3 or 4 is too close. Let's just go like a bigger one, like 5.
Okay.
Maybe it takes more than a year to do, but like I think that's like a more significant number, and then we can start just doubling it.
Okay.
5,
Sure.
10, 20,000 and stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Will do.
We can wait to figure out what our like subscriber reward will be till like we get closer though.
Okay.
Okay. You guys aren't helping me. You should do a tour along the Rhine and Donau. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
1 million subscribers. 10,000.
What do you think of Dutch peanut butter? He sent us a thingy.
I've never had it. I'd have to taste it. I just like the stuff with no added sugar because I don't think peanut butter needs it. But Stefan is living in Dresden and he could help us with the Basteibrücke, which would be super cool. To get more in contact with us, he could meet at like Instagram, Facebook. Throw us a message on not the live stream. That would be super cool.
Yeah, but you can DM us on Instagram. Just go to Ellie and Lucas, no spaces. Dutch Gamer's already been DMing us today. Dutch Gamer, that's really cheap peanut butter. So maybe it's not that cheap actually. It seems okay. We'll have to order it. He sent us a link. We can order some.
Okay. Sounds
We'll
cool.
have to try it out. Okay.
Mark says, why are Americans so obsessed with castles? Well,
Because America has no castles.
I think because most of America and like Americans are also obsessed with like the history, like old cities of Germany, because like we don't have that. Like our country was basically started in like the 1800s. And I mean, of course there were people there before that. Yeah. But like, yeah. Okay. We'll stop answering questions and get that dinner. Yes.
I like Axel. He's my favorite now.
Don't have favorites. You don't have favorite students in
They're
the
in
classroom.
full support of my properly warm Derner. A cold Derner is not nearly the same. Mark says 5,000 by the end of 2022. I think that would actually be more than achievable. You fit in a live chat. Oh, thank you. Okay, we're leaving.
Thanks. This is our first one, so it's good to hear the review. Okay, I'll stop. Bye.
My mouse is hovering over the end broadcast. Real quick. Yeah, thank you everybody so much. Obviously, from what I can tell, you're all subscribers, so it's really cool that you watch our videos and you're here to chat with us. Lots of fun.
It means a lot to us.
Yeah, make sure tell your friends to come by if they're interested. You don't have to, or not interested if they don't want to be here. That's just not fun for anybody. But if you know people that like us, let them know. And keep saying hi in the comments.
Dutch Gamer, we'd like to have more live chats, but move them over to like Patreon. However, we only have like 2 Patreon members, 3 that would qualify for that. 2 or 3, I don't remember. So it would be pretty much like a boring live chat with only 3 people. So
not that we would still do some on here, just maybe not as often.
Yeah. So
We'll
more often, like monthly, is like Patreon.
Okay.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.